Chardon, hey, true crime fans. Welcome back to another episode of Chardon, hey, true crime. I'm your host, Dakota. With me, as always, is the lovely Kate.
That's me.
That is her. And tonight, we are going to be discussing Robert Hansen. This guy was also known as the Butcher Baker, which is just kind of silly to me because it's like, he's the butcher baker, and then his arch nemesis is the candlestick maker. That's just what I'm gonna call
like that.
Yeah, that's just what I'm gonna call whoever's actually investigating him. If there are actually people investigating him in this episode, we'll see, because you know how it is with these murderers. There's always a lack of investigation for the longest time, and this takes place in Alaska, so let's see how long it takes them to actually investigate a murderer.
Oh boy.
Just saying. I mean, Alaska has the #1 reported crimes against women in the country. I'm just, and then, so that's definitely a thing. But I guess we'll just see, if any of these crimes against the women that Robert Hansen attacked are actually covered,
We'll see how it goes.
We shall see how it goes. Kate's in a different place than normal tonight, and her Wi-Fi is not super strong, so we'll see how that goes too.
Yeah, apologies in advance, everybody. It's already pretty spotty.
Yeah, exactly. But here's an interesting fact about this guy, actually. You good?
I can't get the notes on my tablet because it's not connected to the Wi-Fi apparently, and I don't remember the Wi-Fi password. So
So you're going in kind of blind, huh?
I guess so.
Which phone are you using? Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Which phone are you using cord with?
Oh, just my regular phone.
Your iPhone?
Mm-hmm.
That could be why we're having this spotty issue, because you usually use your other phone for recording.
Not usually. I've been back on my iPhone lately.
Oh, you have? I didn't even realize.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a welcome comment from Kelly saying, "Hey, you guys. Hey, Cal. I appreciate
Hello.
you."
I should just be. My wine leaked in the fridge.
Uh-oh. I was gonna say I should just be
it in on its side.
I should just be Chunk from the Goonies for Halloween. That should just be a thing. Even though Kate and I had originally planned on being the characters from Book of Mormon.
Elder Price and Elder Cunningham.
Yes. I just kept wanting to say Olaf.
I mean, it's not inaccurate, but it is wrong.
I know.
At the same time. And I'm
just imagining Olaf in the Mormon uniform.
Oh my god. Olaf just being like, "Hello!
How would you like to change religions? I have a free book written by Elsa."
Do you have a moment to talk about our Lord and Savior, Queen Elsa of Arendelle?
Oh God. I always have a moment to talk about Queen Elsa of Arendelle. Absolutely. All right. Hi, Ken. Ken says hi.
Hi, Ken. Do you mind if I take like 1 second to see if I can find my other phone? Because I thought I brought it.
Okay, go
Or
ahead
I
and look
thought
for
my
that really. Go ahead and look for that really quick. I am going to show everyone our newest feature here on the show.
Okie dokie. I'll be back.
All right. So tonight we are going to be discussing Robert Hansen, and just to give everyone an idea of who Robert Hansen is, boom, there we go. That is Robert Hansen, and he is an absolute nerd in the worst possible way. Just saying. But look at him there with that. What is that? That is I think it's like a goat, or like a goat head, or like an elk head or something. He's from Alaska, and he was like really into hunting is a thing with him. Yeah, I know, right, Kel? It's awesome that I can share pictures now. Do you find it?
Got it.
Yay! But I was just explaining a little bit about Robert Hansen. He's from Alaska, and he was really big into hunting. I would say he is a bona fide gun nerd. Like, he's just obsessed with guns in like the worst possible way. Yeah, exactly, Kate, exactly. But here's another interesting fact about him. Uh he was portrayed in a movie about him called The Frozen Ground, and he was portrayed, and I mean, for anyone who's interested in like 80s movies and stuff, just like, he was portrayed by John Cusack. Isn't that wild? I know, right?
Huh.
I know.
I gave her my heart and she gave me a gun.
Right? Seriously.
God,
I
I don't even
know.
like that movie.
Uh which one was that one? That was
Say anything.
Say Anything. Yeah. I seriously think that you really need to watch Better Off Dead. That movie is so much better than Say Anything.
Okay.
Yeah. And honestly, in my opinion, John Cusack was too old to play Robert Hansen, but that's just me. Like, I don't
When
know.
was that
They
movie
kind of
from?
That movie was from 2013.
Okay, yeah. I was gonna say, like, that looks like recent John
Yeah.
Cusack.
Yeah, that was only a few years ago. And actually, it's available on Spotify. It's available on Netflix.
Check out this movie on Spotify.
Right?
Oh.
But then, what's even more wild is like Nicolas Cage is in this movie as well, playing an Alaskan detective who hunts the serial killer. But like, it's so funny. And Ken says it's a great movie, so I guess I'm gonna have to watch it at some point. And you know what, I talked about this on my friend Dark Mark's show yesterday. We recorded it, and that'll be available everywhere you can listen to podcasts tomorrow night. Um, it's called The Lighter Side of the Dark Side. It is a Dark Mark show, and it's fantastic. And I was on yesterday, and we just talked about serial killers for a full hour. Like, I think they asked like 3 questions the entire time. And me and the other guest, Mia, just fucking went off on like serial killer stuff with each other.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, it is. I obviously I explained the McDonald triad and why that should be a quadrant, and we went through a lot of stuff, and I was teaching them some things. It was fun. Me and
Funsies.
Mia, me and Mia were teaching them some things. But let's get into Robert Hansen, part one, the Butcher Baker, which I still hate the name, the Butcher Baker.
I just love, like, and his nemesis, the candlestick maker.
That's what I'm going to call the Nick Cage character from now on. He is the candlestick maker.
Oh, that's funny.
So Robert Hansen was born in Esterville, Iowa in 1939 on February 15th to Edna and Christian Hansen. Christian Hansen was a baker and was said to be very stoic and domineering toward his son. His father and mother were Danish immigrants from Denmark, and his father insisted that Robert follow in his footsteps as a baker. You know, if he had actually just like been a baker, he could have just slowly killed people by like poisoning them with gluten instead of like actually going out and slaughtering people. You know, like these days, everyone's got a gluten intolerance, and he could just like be slowly putting gluten into the bread that the non-gluten bread that they asked for.
That totally was not the direction I thought you were going to take that initially.
Where did you think I was going to take it?
I thought you were going to say if he had just become a baker, he could have gone the Sweeney Todd route.
I mean, I guess, but that's just too predictable. Kill him with gluten.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Delicious, delicious gluten.
Just, gluten. So, so Robert was described as a shy, timid loner with a stutter. He was skinny with a bad case of acne that left his face totally scarred, which I mean, you can actually tell in that picture, you know, like, let me see here. Like you can see the like pock marks on his face, can't you? See if I can make
I
this
can.
bigger.
It's too.
That's about it. It's too small for you, but I've got it like real up close and personal for me. But yeah, I can like if you look like right there, I'll send you the picture later, Kate, and you can see a little bit better. Let me see if I can find another picture of him too. Like of his
Just like
face. So that,
just all up in his business.
yeah, just all up in his business. Let's see.
I keep worrying I'm gonna knock this thing over.
What are you using today?
Just my tripod, but it's up like higher than it's ever been, so I'm just like a stiff breeze is gonna knock this over.
You know what's gonna knock it over is the cat.
Probably. He was literally chewing on it. Like he was chewing on the foot before we got started. It was really funny.
Oh my god. Of course he was. Here, wait. I found a better picture of him. Let's take this one off the screen and let's pull up this picture right here. All right. There, that's a better picture of Robert Hansen. You can tell he's definitely got some like face scars and everything.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's a little
Yeah.
easier to tell.
Yeah. So,
God, John
Kate,
Cusack played him?
yeah, John Cusack played him. I know, right? It's so weird. But anyways, all of these things made him an easy target for bullies because, of course, he's blaming his murder on bullies. And at school, it wasn't even the boys that were the cruelest to Robert, but the popular, attractive girls. I guess, you know, in like, what is this, 1940s, you know?
Or like 50s if he's in high school.
Yeah, I guess like around that time, it would, you know, kind of make sense that those stereotypes weren't exactly stereotypes yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah. They had to start somewhere.
I guess so. But it was these things that made Robert grow up with a deep-rooted hatred for those girls and later just women in general. So he became more and more introverted as he got older, and when he was a teenager, he developed an interest in archery, because that's a great sign, and hunting with guns, knives, and bows. Another great sign.
Yeah, right? Like I have no issue with people who like want to take up archery, but like when you combine that with like your issues, like the issues that this guy already has, it's like, ooh, that is a red flag if I ever saw one.
Yeah, yeah. I need to get like a little red flag that I could just like wave on the show. Oh, that'd be
My dad,
great.
oh my god, my dad in his car has like
Oh my god, I know. I know.
he has like the soccer cards just like Red card.
Yeah, the first time he drove me to the train station, I kind of just sat there and stared at him, and I was just like, that doesn't really do anything to anyone. So I have no idea
Yeah.
what the fuck a red card is, so.
It's really just for himself. He thinks it makes a point somehow. I haven't seen him use them in a really long time, so I think maybe he's finally grown out of it.
He grows as a person?
That's generous.
Mm.
I guess that is generous.
Mm. So these hobbies or these interests would feature heavily in his inner world of sadistic revenge fantasies that he would later act on. In 1957, after high school, he enlisted in the U.S. Army, but he was discharged after just 1 year. He later worked as an assistant drill sergeant at a police academy in Pocahontas, Iowa. And there, he began a relationship with a younger woman whom he later married in the summer of 1960. On December 7th, 1960, he was arrested for burning down a Pocahontas County Board of Education school bus garage, which was revenge for his misery in high school. The man held a grudge for that long. Like,
So he
bruh,
burned down like the buses? Like what?
the garage that had all the buses in it. So, all those kids the next day are sitting outside waiting for the bus, and the bus never comes.
Weird. Real weird.
I don't know what he was planning on, I don't know what the fuck he thought that was going to accomplish, but I
Like was
can
it
assure
supposed
you
to be symbolic? Like what the hell? That's so weird.
he's really a weird guy. He is a really weird guy. I
I am confusion.
understand your confusion. Now, the man had held a grudge long after the time for moving on, and for that, he served 20 months of a 3-year prison sentence in Anamosa State Penitentiary. During his incarceration, he was diagnosed with a bipolar disorder called manic depression at that time, with periodic schizoid episodes. Now, the psychiatrist who made the diagnosis noted that Hansen had an infantile personality and was obsessed with revenge and getting satisfaction by petty destructions of people he felt had wronged him. So, totally healthy guy here.
Yeah. Hey, buddy, my dude,
Guy.
have you, sir, ever considered therapy?
We're just, not doing that.
Yeah, seriously. Maybe, get over it?
Wild concept. Wild concept. But don't
You
be a
were a
dick.
you were a fucking teenager. Nothing that anybody said to you as a teenager in regards to like teasing you matters.
I mean, I'll go as far as to say that nothing anyone says to you matters anyway, but that's just
That's fair.
that's just my point of view. Unless it's, something like don't murder people, that matters. But
Like
anything
something
that
with weight to it.
yeah, but anything that people say to you where they're just like, you have acne. Who cares? Yeah, I got acne.
Yeah, seriously.
That doesn't matter. Nothing fucking matters. I mean, I'm kind of a nihilist in that sense, I guess, when I say nothing matters, but that's just my point of view. We are nihilists. We believe in nothing.
He doesn't care about anything. He's a nihilist.
So Hansen's wife divorced him while he was incarcerated, which, let's be honest, did not do anything for his whole hatred of women issues that
Nah,
he
not
had going
really.
on. He finds one woman that he's like, you know what? I don't hate this one. And then she's just like, you blew up a bus garage. Bye. And he's just like,
wow, she won't even support me through my revenge. Like, all women are the worst.
Find you a woman who will support you through your revenge. That's all I gotta say. Or just, don't take revenge on people. Like that's a thing. So over the next few years, he was jailed several times for petty theft, and in 1967, he moved to Anchorage, Alaska, with his second wife, whom he had married in 1963, and with whom he had 2 children. In Anchorage, it said that he was well liked by his neighbors and set several local hunting records. And because of his upbringing with his Danish father, who insisted that he be able to run a bakery, he actually opened a bakery in Anchorage and was very friendly with several of the deputies and officers on the local police force because of fucking course he was.
Just, hey,
Like,
here you guys like donuts.
Donuts? So dumb. But I mean, I feel like we've got another Ed Kemper coming in here,
Yeah, probably a little bit.
Because remember, Ed Kemper was like best friends with a bunch of cops up in Santa Cruz.
Yep.
Yep. Hi, Thomas.
Hi, Thomas.
This guy's making friends with cops. Like, I don't know. It just feels like such a serial killer thing to do. This is why I'm not friends with any police. You can tell that I am not a serial killer because I'm not friends with the police. I'm just already suspicious if you are friends with cops. I'm just sort of like, what's going on with you there? I don't know about this.
It's one thing if like you have like family who are cops or whatever, like that's one thing. But like if you actively seek out friends who are cops, that's just kind of like, what
Don't
are
be
you
suspicious.
trying to do?
Don't be suspicious.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
So, anyways, Now, while the people in Anchorage fell for his facade of sweet, humble, normal family man who just really liked trophy hunting and mounting the heads of his kills, Robert started a different kind of hunting. Do you remember in school you had to read that book, The Most Dangerous Game?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's pretty much where we're going with this. It's really interesting to me that in the movie Zodiac, they put so much emphasis on the most dangerous game when really there are people like Robert Hansen who pretty much actively like recreated that book, like minus the island and
Island
all that.
Getaway.
Yeah, the island getaway and all that. But I mean, really, like the most dangerous game is a thing that actively was happening in Alaska.
Yeah.
Now in December,
I think I read that story for the first time in like 9th grade, and every now
mhm.
and then like it'll just pop into my head, and I'm just like, there really are people who are like who have this mentality. Like,
Oh yeah,
it's just terrifying.
oh yeah, absolutely. I read that story for the first time in 7th grade, and yeah, we talked a lot about like the themes of the story and all that, like English teachers like to do, like the symbolism and everything. And I'm just sort of like, I think you guys are forgetting this is literally a story about a guy who's like hunting humans.
Yeah, it's like the symbolism. Like, can we just talk about the fact that like this
This
guy's just
dude's
like,
a sociopath.
yeah, this dude's just fucking nuts.
Yeah, like I feel like that's something that doesn't get brought up enough. Like I remember this really funny Tumblr post actually, and it was like a person who was an author, and they were like, "Yeah, I went to like a lecture at a high school, and the English teacher was like, oh, we've been talking about how the like blue drapes symbolize this, that, or the other in the bedroom. And they're just like, huh. They're like, I literally just wrote the drapes to be blue because I thought it would be pretty.
Just the blue like symbolizes their like depression and dark outlook. Just maybe they just thought like it would make the room pop. It was a pop of color.
Yeah. It's a gray bedroom. You gotta have some blue in there just to make it like, offset the gray. Like, come on.
It's a bedroom. Blue is a calming color in the bedroom.
Yeah.
Don't you know anything about interior design?
Right? Seriously. So, it's those kinds of things always crack me up, like when they talk about symbolism in stories and stuff, because it's just sort of like, okay.
Maybe you don't know what you're talking about. Just maybe.
And yet at the same time, there are times when authors make me go, maybe you don't know what you're talking about, like J.K. Rowling. I'm fairly certain she has no idea what she's talking about ever, anytime.
Yeah, no, like including her own characters.
Yep. Anyways, so in December of 1971, Robert was arrested twice. Once for the abduction and attempted rape of a housewife, and again for raping a sex worker. He pled no contest to assault with a deadly weapon in the offense involving the housewife, and the rape charge involving the sex worker was dropped as a part of a plea bargain. He was sentenced to 5 years in prison, but after serving 6 months of his sentence, he was placed on a work release program and moved into a halfway house. And in 1976, Hansen pled guilty to larceny after he was caught stealing a chainsaw from a Fred Meyer in Anchorage.
Fucking random.
Yeah, I know, right? Fred Meyer, I guess it's like Sears, kind of?
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like it's like Sears.
Okay.
It's like similar to Kroger, I guess. So it's kind of like a superstore, a hypermarket superstore. So I guess kind of like what Target is now.
Interesting.
Yeah, because they do groceries and or like how there's and then they have ones that are like just for like groceries, like it's the Fred Meyer Marketplace. So kind of like a Walmart. You know how
Okay, that makes
Walmart
sense.
has like the stores, the like regular Walmart stores, and then there's like the Walmart like neighborhood grocery or whatever. You
Yeah.
know what I'm talking? Yeah. So it seems like it's like that. And
Got it.
Ken
Okay.
says, "What the fuck? How do you steal a chainsaw? Those are huge."
Right?
Yeah, seriously, what did he just like shove it into his pants and just be like, "Oh, just me and my huge dick walking out of here"?
Just wow. Sir, are you sure that's just your penis? Just
That
yeah. You want
is
me to
my
turn it
dick,
on? You want me to turn it on? Ring, ding, 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 ding.
sir, sir.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
It's like that scene in Animal House when they're trying to like shoplift from the grocery store and the girl
Oh,
stops them. She's like, "You seem to put on a little bit of weight since you first came in."
him.
Yeah.
It's just a prank. It's just a prank.
Please, I'm pledging a fraternity. Oh, that movie is so good. But yeah, no, he's just, sir, your dick seems to have grown since you first came in to shop with us today.
He's just like, why are you looking at my dick? Strolls out.
The guy, oh shit, he right.
Oh goodness.
For this, for stealing the chainsaw, he was sentenced again to 5 years in prison and required to receive psychiatric treatment for his bipolar disorder. But the Alaska Supreme Court reduced the sentence and he was released with time served. On June 13th, 1983, just 6 years after his chainsaw arrest, I love that it's just called his chainsaw arrest.
Why is it so funny?
I know, right?
Like, that is what it is, but like I think it's because it kind of sounds like he was arrested, like they were using chainsaws to arrest him. Just freeze.
Get on the ground! Get on the ground!
Whoop.
Imagine a criminal just like you come around a corner and there's just cops everywhere with fucking chainsaws. You're just like,
just, you're under arrest.
Okay, put the chainsaw down, officers.
You don't comply, they yeet the chainsaw at you.
It's like, yeet. It's like that comic where it was like, what if Spider-Man's powers were just like shooting spiders from his hands?
Oh god, that just makes me think of like that card from Cards Against Humanity, like shotguns for legs.
Well, you know what that's from, right?
No.
That's from Planet Terror.
Oh, I don't know what that is.
It's a Robert Rodriguez film.
Oh. Love that guy.
Rose McGowan has a machine gun for a leg.
Interesting.
It's the whole thing. It's like a zombie movie. You would hate it.
All right, I'll take your word for it.
It is so fucking graphic. You would hate that movie.
Okay, yeah, not for Kate.
Not for Kate. But anyways, so after his chainsaw arrest, Robert approaches 17-year-old sex worker Cindy Paulson, and he offered her $200 for oral sex. Which even by today's standards, that's a fuck ton of money. Like, shit.
Yeah, seriously. Like, I might even do that for like some random.
Look, I definitely would do that. Are you kidding? $200 for a blowjob? Yeah, I'd do that.
Just, he didn't say a good one.
No, I'll just sit there like that. The whole time. Yeah, you do the work. It's fine. But so when she got into the car, he pulled a gun on her and drove her to his home in Muldoon. There, he held her captive and proceeded to torture and rape her. She later told the police that after Hansen chained her by the neck to a post in the house's basement, he took a nap on a nearby couch. Have you ever been so relaxed after committing a crime? Like, shit.
God, I'm rarely that relaxed ever anyway.
You took a nap today.
Yeah, I don't do that often.
Not anymore. You used to do that a lot more.
Yeah, but it wasn't because I was relaxed. It was because I was exhausted.
Yeah. But anyways, so when he awoke, he put her in his car and he took her to Merrifield Airport, where he told her that he intended to take her out to his cabin, which in all honesty was a shack in the Nick River area of the Matanuska Valley, which was accessible only by boat or bush plane, which bush plane just kind of makes me laugh. Bush. Which just makes me think I'm watching way too many of those videos, yeah. For the record, it's SNL skit.
Yeah.
For the record, I'm not watching too. I said skit.
I know.
Okay. I just have a really weird obsession with Pete Davidson, okay? We all know this by now.
Yeah. You're fine. It's fine.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now, Paulson crouched in the back seat of the car with her wrists cuffed in front of her body and saw a chance to escape when Hansen was busy loading the airplane's cockpit. Now, when Hansen's back was turned, Paulson crawled out of the back seat and opened the driver's side door and ran for her life towards 6th Avenue. She later told police that she had left her blue sneakers on the passenger side floor of the back seat as evidence that she had been in the car. Hansen panicked and chased her, but Paulson made it to 6th Avenue first and managed to flag down a passing truck. The driver, Robert Yount, alarmed by Paulson's beat, barefoot, and disheveled appearance, stopped and picked her up. He drove her, I'm not even joking, to the Mush Inn, Alaska.
I'm sure that's a sledding reference, but for
Alaska.
that just sounds so gross.
It sounds like a hooker hotel because they like mush their parts together.
Yeah, that was my thought. Just like that sounds like a horrible thing to call sex.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, they picked up this hooker and we totally mushed.
Yeah, we went to the mushin' for some mushin'.
Why is it so funny?
Because it's disgusting.
It's so fucking gross.
Oh my god. That's hilarious.
Oh, fuck me. That is so funny. So, once at the Mush Inn, she jumped out of the truck and ran inside and pleaded with the clerk to phone her boyfriend at the Big Timber Motel. And the truck driver continued on to work.
Just, all right, deuces.
Yeah, basically. But, when he got to work, I will give him this. When he got to work, he called the police and he reported the incident of the barefoot, handcuffed woman that he had encountered. When the Anchorage Police Department, the APD officers arrived at the Mush Inn, they were told that the young woman had taken a cab to the Big Timber Motel. APD officers arrived at room 110 of the Big Timber Motel and found Paulson still handcuffed and alone. Do you think that you think when she got there, she had to back up to the door? Oh no, wait, she had her hand cuffed in front of her. Okay, never mind. I forgot. Because I was saying she had to back up to the door and was dicking around with the key card behind her back.
God, that would have been unfortunate.
Oh my god, that would have sucked so bad. You ask the clerk, hey, can you go open that door for me? No, but here's a key. Okay. The clerk isn't even paying attention. They're holding out the key like this. She just has to back up and wave her hands around until she grabs it. Just thanks. Walks back upstairs.
Clerk just reading.
Yeah.
Just doing a fucking Sudoku puzzle. Just here.
Oh, I got it. I'm good.
All right. Have a good night.
Thanks. It's walks to the door and has to use her hip to open the door, and then walks up the stairs, and then is just sitting there for 5 minutes outside of her door, just with the key card.
Well, I'm glad she didn't have to do that, but God,
I'm glad she didn't have to do that either, but fuck, the imagery is hilarious.
Seriously.
So she was taken to the Alaska Police Department headquarters, where she described the perpetrator, Hansen, who, when questioned by the APD officers, denied the accusation, stating that Paulson was just trying to cause trouble for him because he wouldn't pay her extortion demands. And although Hansen had several run-ins with the law, his meek demeanor and mild-mannered occupation as a baker, along with a fake alibi from his friend John Henning, kept him from being considered a serious suspect, and the case went cold.
That sucks.
And there's this whole thing of guys protecting guys and everything. Don't do that.
Seriously,
Stop it.
don't ever do that.
If your bro comes to you and is like, yo, I need an alibi. No alibi for you.
Just like, if you're actually innocent, maybe, but no.
Just like, hey, bro, remember how I was hanging out with you last night?
No?
Oh, yeah. Remember we were hanging out last night, all night, like together, all night. We were definitely hanging out, and I definitely didn't beat up a hooker.
Oh, yeah, that. No, yeah. Yes? Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We hung out, and I
Yeah,
didn't beat up
like,
a hooker.
no, we don't hang out with hookers. Like, why would
Oh.
you have even been around a hooker?
What's a hooker?
Is that like a fisher?
Who's Morales?
Not that dumb.
But
I
meanwhile,
just rewatched that the other night.
Detective Glenn Floss. It's literally his name, Glenn Floss.
Wow, what a name.
Right?
Is it maybe
I'm
Floth?
checking Floss, Floss, whatever. It's pretty similar.
It's not really good
I
either way.
mean, yeah, either way, it is not good. Let me just say, all right. Nope. I was kind of hoping that would be Nicolas Cage's character, because then I could just call him Detective Nicolas Cage, but no.
Ow.
Wild thing though, for on Frozen Ground, the Frozen Ground, the movie where with Nick Cage and John Cusack and stuff. You know who plays Cindy Paulson? Vanessa Hudgens. I know, right? So this is another serial killer movie with a Disney Channel star.
What is that?
That's
Like
three
three
now.
now? Yeah.
Yeah, that's three now. My Friend Dahmer, whatever that Ted Bundy movie was that I didn't bother watching, and The Frozen Ground.
That's so weird. And like two of them are High School Musical people.
I know, right?
So random.
Who was that other guy?
Zac Efron.
Yeah, duh. The other one though, the from My Friend Dahmer.
Oh, Ross Lynch.
And what was he in?
He was in Teen Beach Movie.
So it was all musicals, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was
That
in
was
Teen Beach Movie, and he was in Teen Beach Movie, and then he was also in the show Austin and Ally.
Okay.
Yeah,
Anyways.
I never watched it. I just know he was on it.
Yeah, no idea. But anyways, so Detective Glenn Floss of the Alaska State Troopers had been a part of a team investigating the discovery of several bodies in and around Anchorage, Seaward, and the Manitouskas-Sustina Valley area. Oof, those names are rough. Matanuska, but then there's a dash. The Matanuska-Sustina Valley area. The first of these bodies was found by construction workers near Elkluthna Road. Elknutha. The body. Elklutha.
Because there's no L there. It's a Clutha. Like it's EKL.
EKLUTHNA. So there is an L, but not where I was saying it.
Yeah, is that an H or an N? It's either a clue.
It's an N. It's an N.
Okay, then it's a Klutna.
Eklutna?
Yeah.
Okay. So the body, dubbed Eklutna Annie by investigators, has never been identified. Later that year, the body of Joanna Messina was discovered in a gravel pit near Seaward, and in 1982, the remains of 23-year-old Sherry Morrow were discovered in a shallow grave near the Nick River. Floss. going to call him Floth.
Okay. Yeah, it's like floss. It just sounds like you're saying floss with a lisp.
Yeah, I know, right? Did you remember to floss your teeth? Floth now had 3 bodies and what looked like one killer. He contacted the FBI's special agent John Douglas and requested help with a criminal psychological profile based on the recovered 3 bodies. Douglas stated that he believed the killer would be an experienced hunter with low self-esteem and a history of having been rejected by women, and would feel compelled to keep souvenirs of his murders, such as the victim's jewelry. He also suggested that the assailant might stutter. Using his profile, Floth investigated possible suspects until he reached Hansen, who not only fit the profile, but also owned a plane.
I wonder how he came up with like this person might have a stutter. Like, where do you get that from in all of this? Like, he's not wrong, but where did that come from?
So, the way I understand it from the courses that I took, and keep in mind, I only took one online course during quarantine, but the way that I understand it is the stutter is number one, it's super common in serial killers, like to have a speech impediment of some kind. And it is something that we have covered in the past, like other serial killers having speech impediments. I can't think of any off the top of my head, but I know that it has come up. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but I do know that who am I thinking? So it is like it's a reason that they have such low self-esteem from such an early age. Because if you know you're just a little pimply and stuff in high school, like yeah, that'll give you some low self-esteem. But if you have like this and this and this and this, like it just keeps fucking chipping at you until you have no self-esteem left and you just become this angry, violent person.
Mm. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, supported by Paulson's testimony and Douglas's profile, Floth and the Alaska Police Department secured a warrant to search Hansen's plane, vehicles, and home. And on October 27th, 1983, investigators found jewelry belonging to some of the missing women, as well as an array of firearms in a corner hideaway of Hansen's attic. Also found was an aviation map with little X's marked on it, hidden behind Hansen's headboard, and many of these marks matched sites where prior bodies had been found, and others were later discovered at those then after they were then explored. And when confronted with the evidence found in his home, Hansen denied it as long as he could, but eventually began to blame women and tried to justify his actions. Eventually, he confessed to each item of evidence as it was presented to him, and he admitted to a spree of attacks against Alaskan women starting in 1971. Hansen's earliest victims were young women, usually between 16 and 19, not sex workers, unlike the victims who led to his discovery. Hansen is known to have raped and assaulted over 30 Alaskan women and to have murdered at least 17, ranging in age from 16 to 41 years old. These are their
Yeesh.
names. These are their names and the details that we have on their cases. The first one was Megan Emmerich. She was 17 years old. And Hansen denied killing her, but is suspected because of an X on his aviation map that corresponds to the locations of her body when it was discovered. She went missing on July 7th, 1973. Mary Thill, who was 22 years old, Hansen also denied killing her, but he is suspected because of her body's location corresponding with an X on his aviation map. She went missing on July 5th, 1975. Horseshoe Harriet, we know she was killed in the late 70s or early 80s, and her body was discovered in April 1984. And again, this is a name that she was given by police. because they actually have no idea what her real name was. And some of these bodies haven't been identified. That's a really scary thing to me.
Wow, after all this time. That sucks.
That's the thing with sex workers, especially sex workers in Alaska. As sex work is almost seasonal there. Like you go and you do a few weeks in Alaska and then you go and do a few weeks somewhere else, like it's really sad.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, I like read a whole thing about it. It's interesting, but again, like I said, it's sad. So the next woman that we have is it's what did we decide that word was again, Kate? Elknuda? Ecletna Annie, who was aged 16 to 25 years old. 16 to 25 years old. She was killed between November 1979 to June 1980. She had been stabbed in the back, and by the time her body was discovered in a shallow grave off Elknuda Lake Road, it had been partially eaten by wild animals.
It's the circle of life.
They eat those bodies.
It
Now
consumes us all.
That's disgusting.
Please hire me, Disney.
There's also Roxanne Eastland, who was 24 years old, who went missing on June 28th, 1980. Hansen confessed to killing her, but her body has never been recovered, and I'm going to go ahead and guess bears. Solid. Bears found and ate her body. That's my guess. Right?
I feel like big cats would be more likely, like mountain lions or like bobcats or something. But
I don't know. Bears will fucking go at humans, man. Like that just happened over at my sister's place. A bear attacked some migrant worker over there.
Oh damn. And actually, yeah, my mom knew somebody who was like mauled by a bear.
Yeah, the guy over at my sister's place, he's okay. Like he survived. He just got pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
Anyway, Joanna Messina, she was 24 and she went missing and is presumed to have been killed in early July 1980. And her badly decomposed body was found in a gravel pit in late July 1980. There's also Lisa Futrell, age 41, who went missing on September 6th, 1980, and was found dead just south of the Old Nick Bridge on May 9th, 1984. There was also Sherry Morrow, who was 23 years old, who went missing on November 17th, 1981. She was found in a shallow grave on the bank of the Nick River. She had been shot in the back, but there were no bullet holes in her clothing, suggesting she had been shot while nude and then redressed before being buried. And her remains were found on September 12th, 1982. There was Andrea Fish Altiveri, which is a horrible nickname. Like, what would you call someone Fish? Does she just have like really big lips or something? Like, I don't know. She looked like
when it comes to nicknames, who knows? Maybe she was a heavy drinker.
Maybe drank like a fish. Could be. She was 22 years old and she went missing on December 2nd, 1981. Now, Hansen confessed to killing her, but her body, again, has never been recovered. There was also Sue Luna, who was 23 years old, who went missing on May 26th, 1982, and was found dead on April 24th, 1984. She was stripped nude and forced to run through the forest while Hansen hunted her like an animal. She was shot to death.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, yeah.
There's
and
that
he did
most
that
dangerous game.
Yeah, he did that actually like a few times. Like he would take them out on the plane out into like the wilderness and then just like let them go. And we'll talk more about that in the next episode. Yeah. There's Paula Goulding, who is 17 years old, who went missing on April 25th, 1983. Another girl who was buried in a shallow grave on the bank of the Nick River. She had also been shot in the back, but there were no bullet holes in her clothing, again, suggesting that she had been shot while naked and then redressed before being buried. And her body was found on September 2nd, 1983. And here's something that I have to point out with the thing about the girls who were shot in the back. That's it. That's him taking them out into the wilderness, letting them run, and then just hunting them. Yeah.
Ugh.
Then there was the sole survivor, Cindy Paulson, age 17, who was kidnapped June 13th, 1983. She was tortured, raped, and she managed to escape, like we said. And the cops were so close to the truth with this one, but let him walk without even being charged because of the disdain for sex workers. Now, how many times had this happened? How many women would have survived if they had believed her instead of him? Unfortunately, at least 4 women would have survived, but we can't know the true number for sure. There was also Malal Larson, who was 28 years old. She was killed between 1980 and 1983, and her body was found by a pilot testing his new tires on the sandbar in the Nick River on August 20th, 1985. There was also Teresa Watson, who was killed between 1980 and 1983. Her body was found on April 26th, 1984, corresponding to Hansen's X on his aviation map. There was also Angela Federn, who was 24 years old. She was killed between 1980 and 1983, and her body was found at Figure 8 Lake on April 26, 1984. She was also found because of a corresponding X on Hansen's aviation map. Then there was Tamara Tammy Peterson, age 20, who was killed between 1980 and 1983. Her body was found a mile and a half from Old Nick Bridge on April 29th, 1984. And she was found because of a corresponding X on Hansen's map. Honestly, like, why would you do that? That's just so dumb.
In case he wants to revisit them?
Yeah, I guess. Ken's got a good comment. Do these serial killers forget where they hid the bodies or just not saying where they are?
I mean, it could be both.
Yeah, that's true.
Especially when like you're doing this much killing, like I definitely imagine you might forget.
Yeah.
That's why you make a map.
I guess, but apparently not a map of all of them.
Maybe he started making a map like after he realized that he was forgetting where some of them were.
Yeah, so then he's just sitting there staring at the map, just like, where the fuck did I put her body?
Just, I know it's around here fucking somewhere.
Put this one here. I put this one here. And I put this one here. But where the fuck is this one? Just super mad about it.
Just, I remember I forgot to get something off of her body so I could remember. So I need to go. Oh, I'm not going to find this one. This fucking sucks.
This fucking bitch. But then there's also Celia Beth Van Zatten, who is 17 years old, and Hansen denied killing her, but is suspected because of an X on his aviation map. And I have to wonder, like, you know, with these conversations and stuff, where they're just like, well, you killed this one. He's like, no.
You sure?
Yeah. I didn't kill her.
Then what's with this X on your map?
I found her there. She was already like that when I found her.
You have an X for all of these ones that you killed. Why would you make an X for one that you just found?
So I could call you guys and tell you about her.
Then why didn't you call us?
My phone was turned off.
I went through a tunnel. I didn't have service.
There was no service. I was, when you're in a plane, there's just like no service up there. And then when I got home, my wife was on the phone, and she was on the phone for a really long time, and so I forgot.
What do you think, guys? Does the story check out? I feel like a story checks out.
Yeah, I think, my wife's on the phone for a really long time, like,
And like sometimes like they'll be out like I know my kids will be on the internet for a long time and then I can't use the phone.
Yeah, that does happen. My kid was on one of those message boards the other day. He told me that he was just talking about how great his dad is. So, I let him have an extra 20 minutes of computer time.
Oh yeah, like that's what you do. You let him have a little extra time.
Yeah. I mean, he's a good kid,
What were we talking about?
He's innocent. He's totally innocent. It's fine.
Just all right. You get this one, dude. You get this one, man.
And that's pretty much exactly what happened, because of those 17 women, Hansen was only formally charged with the murders of 4. Sherry Morrow, Joanna Messina, Ekluna Annie, and Paula Goulding. He was also charged with the rape and the kidnapping of Cindy Paulson, and that's it. That's all he was ever charged with.
Wow.
Yeah. And we're going to get into that. We're going to get into that a little bit more on Sunday, because that is the end of our episode, and I'm angry about it.
Wow.
I'm not angry about that being the end of the episode. I'm just angry about, like, the situation.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm mad about that. So that is the end of tonight's episode. Just one more time, let's just take a look at this fucking idiot's. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Let's just take another look at this fucking idiot's stupid fucking face. Look at him. Look how stupid he is.
Gander at it.
He looks so sad.
Just
I can't murder hookers anymore. They took away my hobby.
I can't hunt women for sport anymore.
You guys, it's not fair. Yeah, seriously, fuck this guy. Fuck this guy.
Ugh.
I'm mad about him.
Me too. I can't wait to talk more shit about him on Sunday.
Oh god, me too. We got a good shit comment right here. Ken says he looks like the guy from Revenge of the Nerds.
I've never seen it, so I can't.
That's an insult to Robert fucking. Oh, what's his name? Robert Carradine. I knew exactly who Ken meant too, but you know him as the dad from Lizzie McGuire, Kate.
Oh, that's mean.
But I get what Ken's saying. I really do.
Poor guy.
Oh god. Yeah, I totally get why Ken says that. Like, I really do. But, like, fuck, now I can't unsee it. Like, he would have been a way better person to play him than. Why am I always so angry at like casting for these serial killer movies? Like what just why am I always really mad about that?
Well, if that movie is like that recent, I feel like Robert Carradine would be like too old for that because he was already like older in Lizzie McGuire, and that was 20 years ago.
I mean, he was already like in his 30s in Revenge of the Nerd. Look at Revenge of the Nerds. Look at him. Like he has like older man arm hair. Like that is he's not a child. He's not an 18-year-old in these movies, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, Ken. I really do. I see it. I totally see it. But since we can now do side-by-side comparisons, I will one day show you guys side-by-side comparisons of Richard Kuklinski and James Gandolfini because I can do that now and I will never not be pissed about it.
Oh my god.
What?
Who actually played him?
Michael Shannon.
Thank you. God.
I love Michael Shannon. Don't get me wrong. I absolutely adore Michael Shannon. He's an amazing actor and I love him. I have nothing but love for him. He's definitely in my weird celebrity crushes list, which we will talk about sometime on Geeks, Freaks, and Beaks. What was that look? What was that look?
I just agreeing, like, yep, that's a weird one.
Yeah. I'm aware that it's a weird one, but you know, I can't help who I like. I like talented actors and talented people. Okay, that's what it is. I have a kink for talent. That's my kink. Talent.
Gotta love those niche fetishes and kinks.
Talent. That's my kink. But that's our show for tonight. I'm sorry, I'm just mad about this. I'm still gonna be mad about it. I'm gonna be mad about it till Sunday when we finish the series.
Yeah. Just
yeah. All right, so basically this guy's a fucking idiot and the police are fucking sexist, and that's all I really have to say about this episode. So until Sunday night, say goodnight, Kate.
Good night, Kate.
Good night, and we will see you all on Sunday. Don't be sexist.